In 2005, News Corp paid $580 million for MySpace. At the time, it was the most anyone had ever paid for a social network. The New York Times called it a bargain. Analysts said Rupert Murdoch had finally figured out the internet. In 2011, News Corp sold MySpace for $35 million, a 94% loss in 6 years. But here is what makes this story different from a simple bad investment. When News Corp bought MySpace, it was the most visited website in America. More monthly traffic than Google, 100 million users. The platform where music broke, where celebrities talked directly to fans, where an entire generation built their online identity. News Corp didn't buy a struggling company and fail to turn it around. They bought the dominant platform on the internet, and then, through a series of decisions that prioritized advertising revenue over product quality, handed the social media era to a 22-year-old in a Harvard dorm room. Facebook didn't beat MySpace. News Corp did. MySpace launched in 2003. Tom Anderson and Chris DeWolf built it in 8 days, running on a single server in a Santa Monica office. The premise was simple. Give everyone a page, a profile, a place to exist on the internet that was yours. You chose your background. You picked your song. You arranged your top 8, the 8 friends who made the cut, whose position on your profile signaled exactly how much you valued them. The drama of the top 8 alone generated more human emotion than most television shows. By 2005, MySpace was signing up 100,000 new users every day. By 2006, it had 100 million accounts and was outpacing Google in monthly American web traffic. And it wasn't just personal profiles. MySpace was where music happened. Arctic Monkeys built a UK fan base of 70,000 followers before they had a record deal. Lily Allen posted demos and got signed. Panic at the Disco, Kate Nash, Colby Kylat. The platform was a discovery machine for artists who had no other way to reach audiences directly. It was also culturally dominant in a way that is hard to explain to anyone who wasn't there. Having a MySpace was not optional. It was how you existed online, how you communicated, how you expressed yourself, how you signaled who you were. That was the empire News Corp bought in 2005. News Corp's first mistake was structural. Rupert Murdoch was a newspaper and television man. His instinct for media was sharply tuned. Find the audience, sell them to advertisers, extract as much revenue as possible. That model had built a global empire. Applied to a social network, it was poison. The engineers who built MySpace watched News Corp executives arrive with mandates to increase ad load, redesign pages for better monetization, and prioritize partnerships over product development. The founders stayed for a while, then left. The engineers followed. The thing that made MySpace valuable, the chaotic, personal, creative energy of millions of people customizing their own small corners of the internet, was treated as a problem to manage rather than a feature to protect. Pages slowed down under ad weight. The interface became cluttered. Content decisions were driven by what News Corp's media partners wanted, not by what users wanted. Meanwhile, in September 2006, Facebook removed the last barrier that had kept it confined to colleges. It opened to everyone. At that moment, Facebook had 12 million users. MySpace had 100 million. The race that determined the next decade of the internet had just begun. And one side wasn't paying attention. In 2006, News Corp signed a deal with Google worth $900 million. Google would be MySpace's exclusive search and advertising partner. In exchange, MySpace committed to aggressive advertising targets, minimum numbers of ads per page, minimum revenue thresholds. The deal was celebrated as brilliant. MySpace was locking in nearly $1 billion in guaranteed revenue before it had even earned that much in its entire existence. What it actually did was handcuff the product team. To hit Google's targets, MySpace needed to show more ads. More ads meant slower pages. Slower pages meant worse user experience. Worse user experience meant users spending less time on the platform. Less time meant fewer ad impressions. The loop accelerated in the wrong direction. Facebook was moving in the opposite direction. Mark Zuckerberg was famously willing to delay monetization indefinitely in favor of product quality. Features shipped fast. The newsfeed launched in 2006 and immediately made Facebook feel alive in a way MySpace never had. By 2008, Facebook had overtaken MySpace in global monthly users. By 2009, the gap was no longer a race, it was a verdict. MySpace kept redesigning. They launched MySpace Music, MySpace TV, MySpace Games. Each pivot was announced with optimism and quietly abandoned as users continued to leave. The core product never improved, it just got louder. By 2010, MySpace was losing 400,000 users per month. News Corp had spent years trying to fix the symptoms while leaving the cause in place. They cycled through CEOs. They brought in consultants. They announced rebrands. In January 2011, News Corp hired a new co-CEO and announced MySpace would reinvent itself as a social entertainment platform. The company laid off almost half its staff. 6 months later, they sold it. The buyer was Specific Media, a digital advertising company, for $35 million. Justin Timberlake was part of the investor group, a detail that generated more press coverage than MySpace had earned in years. The plan was to reposition the platform as a destination for music discovery, leaning into the one thing MySpace had genuinely been great at before News Corp arrived. It never worked. In 2019, MySpace announced that a server migration error had deleted every piece of audio, photo, and video uploaded to the platform before 2016. 50 million songs from 14 million artists. 12 years of user content gone overnight. The announcement barely made the news. MySpace's collapse is usually told as a story of Facebook winning. That story is incomplete. When Facebook opened to the public in September 2006, MySpace had an 8-to-1 user advantage, a dominant brand, and the most valuable social graph on the internet. Squandering that kind of lead requires sustained, dedicated mismanagement. News Corp provided exactly that. They applied a broadcast media mindset to a platform that ran on participation. They optimized for ad revenue at the moment when the one thing that mattered was product quality. They staffed MySpace with media executives instead of engineers, at exactly the time when the competition was being run by engineers who thought about nothing else. Facebook won because it was better, but it was allowed to get better because MySpace stopped improving. Rupert Murdoch paid $580 million for the most popular website in America. He used it as a billboard, and then he sold the billboard for $35 million to a man who was in a movie about the company that replaced it.